The following video was recorded by a mother who began experiencing something she couldn't quite explain. A sudden, overwhelming sense of anxiety that seemed to come out of nowhere while she was at home with her baby. It wasn't tied to any noise or visible movement at first, just a heavy feeling that something wasn't right. On this particular day, it was just her and her son in the house, sitting together and watching a movie. Everything calm and completely normal. But then, something small caught her attention. The bathroom door. The last time she had looked at it, it had been slightly shut. Now, it was wide open. That subtle change was enough to make her uneasy, and instead of brushing it off, she reached for her phone and started recording, trying to understand what had changed. Watch closely.
Please go away. You're not wanted. Go away. Wherever you are, go away. Spooky? Psst, 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 psst. Spook? Moo?
At first, nothing seemed obvious, but when she reviewed the footage later, she noticed something she hadn't seen in the moment. Right at the entrance of the bathroom, a distinct shadow-like figure appears briefly, moving quickly enough that it's easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. Some believe this could be a shadow entity, something that manifests in quick, fleeting movements, often seen at the edges of vision or during moments of heightened awareness. But I'll let you be the judge. This next video was recorded by a Ring camera inside the home of a woman named Jennifer, who owns a beautiful historic house dating all the way back to 1907, filled with antique pieces that go as far back as 1903. It's the kind of home that carries history in every corner, but not all of that history feels at rest. Not long after moving in, Jennifer began noticing things she couldn't explain. Soft footsteps when no one else was home, faint whispering drifting from empty rooms, and objects that seemed to shift slightly when she wasn't looking directly at them. Concerned, she reached out to several mediums, and strangely, they all told her the same thing. They sensed children in the house. One night, her Ring camera captured something that made those claims even harder to dismiss. Watch. The first thing people noticed were the large orbs forming inside the dollhouse, something that already feels unsettling on its own. But then the dollhouse camera itself shifts position, and that's not all. At the very beginning of the video, as the cat walks down the stairs, some viewers notice something else: the faint sound of what appears to be a man coughing. Jennifer later revealed that the family who previously owned the house passed away tragically, which immediately shifted how people interpreted the footage. Because if multiple mediums sense children, and there's an unexplained adult presence heard in the background, then what exactly is still in that house? Some believe there may be more than one presence, and not all of them are children. So is this a case of a family that never truly left, or something else entirely, using their memory to remain unseen? You decide. Now, in this next clip, a man finds himself doing something that doesn't make sense to the people around him, sleeping out almost every night, moving from one friend's place to another, rarely ever going back to his own home. At first, his friends didn't think much of it. Maybe he just enjoyed the company. Maybe he didn't like being alone. But after a while, the pattern became too obvious to ignore. Day after day, he kept avoiding his own house, so they started asking questions, and he quickly realized something. This wasn't the kind of situation you could explain with words, because no matter how serious you sounded, no matter how detailed you tried to be, it would still sound unbelievable. So instead of explaining it, he showed them. Watch this. Objects aren't just falling, they're being flung across the room. Glass shatters, plates are thrown, chairs move with force as if something unseen is tearing through the space with intent. And according to him, this wasn't a one-time thing. This had been happening repeatedly, turning his home into what he described as a living nightmare. He would hear loud crashes at night, wake up to rooms completely destroyed, and sometimes even feel like something was moving through the house while he was still inside, forcing him to leave just to feel safe. There were moments where doors would slam shut behind him as he tried to leave, and times when he claimed he heard low, unintelligible sounds, almost like something trying to speak but never fully forming words. Some viewers have suggested that this could be a case of a demonic presence, and if that's true, then what he captured might just be the beginning. So is leaving the house the only option he has left? You be the judge. In this next video, a woman named Maddie is casually recording content, completely focused on what she's doing when something happens that instantly shifts the entire mood. Listen closely.
What the fuck was that? Oh my god, what the fuck was that? My speaker's right here. My speaker's right here. What the fuck was that? Am I schizophrenic? Dude, someone just talked behind me. I just heard myself echo back.
A voice can be heard, but people can't seem to agree on what it actually says. Some hear, "What's your name?" Others are convinced it says, "Look behind you." And a few even believe it sounds like, "What do you mean?" But no matter what people hear, everyone agrees on one thing. There was a voice. This is where things start to feel especially unsettling, because many believe this could be an example of what's often referred to as a mimic, a presence that doesn't just make noise, but uses human-like voices to get attention, confuse, or even lure a reaction. These kinds of entities are often described as unpredictable, sometimes repeating phrases, other times creating entirely new ones, but always with one goal: to be heard. And once they are acknowledged, the activity can escalate. Now, in this next video, a man shares something he captured at his former workplace, a company that had recently been shut down under unclear circumstances. He never fully explained why the business closed, which already raised questions, but according to him, while he worked there, strange things were constantly happening. There were moments where he and his coworkers would hear unexplained noises in empty areas, tools going missing and reappearing in odd places, and an uncomfortable feeling that certain parts of the building were off limits, even though no one ever said it out loud. But what made it worse were the accidents. He claims that both he and others experienced incidents that didn't feel random: sudden injuries, equipment malfunctioning at the wrong time, things going wrong in ways that felt almost targeted. And over time, he started to believe that whatever was in that building wasn't just present, it was hostile. One day, while passing by on his way home, he decided to stop and take one last look. Watch.
At least I know I'm not crazy. Because there's definitely somebody standing right there. And now they're gone. Tell me I'm fucking not nuts. And now they're back. You see it? Tell me I'm fucking crazy. That was the creepiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely not.
Inside the building, there's a figure standing, and he later said that this confirmed what he had believed for a long time, that there were demons in that building, something that had been there even while people were still working inside. But, like always, I'll leave you to be the judge on this one. In this next video, a group of friends gather at one of their homes, planning nothing more than a relaxed evening, catching up, playing games, and unwinding after a long day. The atmosphere is light, filled with laughter and casual conversation, the kind of moment where nothing out of the ordinary is expected. At some point during the hangout, the host begins to share some of the strange things she's been experiencing in the house, small, unsettling incidents that she hasn't been able to explain. She talks about hearing movement when no one is around, objects not being where she left them, and that constant feeling that something is off. But instead of taking her seriously, her friends laugh it off. Then something happens. Watch closely.
See your feet.
In that moment, everything changed. The laughter stopped and everyone had to leave, because what was just a story seconds ago is now happening right in front of them. Now this next clip is about another deeply unsettling situation inside a woman's house where something had quietly been appearing for weeks without ever fully revealing itself. Watch closely.
What the fuck is outside? What the? Too scared to open my door.
In the reflection of her glass door, you can see what looks like the outline of someone standing outside, completely still, as if they were waiting. Not knocking, not moving, just standing there. Her dogs noticed it too, and sometimes they barked aggressively toward the door, their instincts telling them something was wrong, and other times they simply froze, staring in complete silence. This continued every other evening, always at roughly the same time, and the longer it went on, the more it began to feel less like coincidence and more like intention. Eventually, curiosity got the better of her. One evening, determined to prove it was just a neighbor or someone passing by, she walked up to the door and opened it without hesitation. But the moment she looked outside, there was no one there. No footsteps, no one walking away, just empty space. And this is where many people believe the real mistake happened. It's often said that opening the door to something unknown can be seen as an invitation, not a verbal one, but a symbolic one, an act of acknowledgement and a moment where the boundary between inside and outside is willingly broken. What makes this even more unsettling is what happened next. After that night, the figure stopped appearing completely, the reflections were gone, and the dog stopped reacting. Everything returned to normal, and for a while, she believed it was over. But weeks later, something new began.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I told you. Come here.
Gabe, it's your mom. You should come out. You've been in there for so long. Gabe, come out. Gabe. Gabe, it's your mother. You should come out.
Then what's your name then?
She started hearing voices inside the house. At first, they were faint and distant, easy to dismiss, but over time they became clearer. Sometimes the voice sounded like her, other times like her friends, and then one day, it sounded like her mother. That was the moment it crossed a line. In the video, she confronts it directly, asking it what her mom's name is, and for a moment, it went quiet. Shortly after that confrontation, she made the decision to leave the house entirely. She never confirmed exactly what happened next, but many believe the silence wasn't the end. Now we can only hope that whatever forced her to leave that home didn't follow her to the next one. In the following clip, a woman finally decides to share what her life has been like recently. Not because she wants attention, but because the things happening around her have reached a point where keeping it to herself no longer feels safe. For a while, she would notice blinds slightly out of place, hear faint sounds near the windows late at night, and occasionally feel like someone was standing just outside, watching. At first, she tried to convince herself it was nothing, maybe wind, maybe her imagination, but the feeling never really went away. One night, they caught this on camera. Watch closely.
All right, my daughter's room is up there, and we keep seeing
All right, put your flashlight up. All right, flash it up there. Oh, now it's gone. Put your flashlight down. Let's see if it'll do it again. All right, put it up, hurry. Oh.
You can clearly see a figure slowly peeping through the blinds with its fingers on the blind. But then, the moment she shines a flashlight in that direction, it's gone. If something can physically interact with the blinds and then vanish without a trace, then it's not just passing by, it's choosing when to be seen. And if it was already close enough to look inside, then how long had it been standing there before the camera caught it? And what does it want from the family? Until more updates are shared, this remains a mystery. In the following clip, an explorer visits Presidio de San Saba in Menard, Texas, a location many believe is haunted not just by legend but by history soaked in violence. Built in the mid-17th century, this Presidio became the site of brutal conflict involving Spanish settlers and Comanche and Wichita tribes. Historical accounts describe violent attacks, torture, and countless lives lost on this very ground. People who never had the chance to leave peacefully. While exploring the ruins late at night, the explorer records with his phone in his right hand, holding a flashlight firmly in his left. As he scans the corner of the structure, something completely unexpected happens. A dark shadow suddenly comes into view. Watch closely.
Here's the room I'm in. There's the K2. There's the REM pod. There's the wall all the way to the corner.
What makes this moment so unsettling is where he's standing. He's backed into a corner with no visible objects nearby that could cast a moving shadow like that. Even more convincing, you can clearly see his hand on camera. The phone is steady in one, the flashlight fixed in the other, and yet the shadow moves in the opposite direction. Viewers also notice something else when pausing the footage frame by frame. For a split second, the shadow appears to have horn-like protrusions, giving it a shape that looks disturbing. That detail alone sparked intense debate online. Considering the violent past of Presidio de San Saba, a place where suffering, fear, and death once filled the air, many believe this wasn't just a trick of the light. Others argue there must be a rational explanation we're missing. So what do you think? Is this simply a shadow playing tricks on the eye? Or did this explorer momentarily capture something that never truly left these grounds? You decide. In this next clip, a man is simply spending time with his child, recording a casual video just to save the moment, something parents do every day without thinking twice. But while he's focused on his daughter, laughing and playing, something else is happening right in front of them, and he doesn't notice it at all. Thankfully, the camera does. Watch closely and pay attention to the blinds.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. That one hurt. Okay, you want me to make buckets now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna catch it.
Oh, you want to catch it and then put it?
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yay! Yeah! You want the small one?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, oh.
This is too
Sorry.
small.
It's too small.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. No, almost. I mean, you hit SpongeBob though. Yay! Last one. 3, 1.
Seriously, 3.
Huh? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
You should say 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, go. In the basket. In the basket.
Go again.
Okay.
The window is completely shut. There's no visible breeze, and you don't see any fingers or hands reaching through the blinds like someone trying to peek inside. Confused and unsettled, the father decides to check the security camera installed in the room, just to rule out any coincidence. But when he watches the footage back, he sees the exact same thing happen again from a different angle. Viewers began speculating. Some suggested airflow from a vent, others said it could have been pressure from outside the window, or even someone poking the blinds from outside. Many weren't convinced it was paranormal until he shared the next clip. Watch this.
This right here is the room where it actually happened. Okay. So I was just sitting here with my daughter. Well, she was actually on a bed playing with her toys that she always plays with. All of a sudden, I didn't understand what was going on, because the only way you can move the blinds is if you're inside the room. There's no possible way. There's no possible way that someone can move the blinds from the outside of the room. There's no possible way somebody can just come up here and move the blinds from the inside.
This video made many people completely abandon logical explanations. The blinds are clearly touched from a height that would require someone to be at least 9 feet tall. There's no balcony, no platform, and no structure outside that could allow a person to reach that high. Wanting to be cautious, the man had his grandmother come over to bless the room. Even after that, though, he refused to let his daughter sleep there alone. During the day, though, she still goes in there to play, because locking the door would only raise more questions. And the answers are something a child her age wouldn't understand.
Okay, so this is the security camera that caught it. This is the whole area that it happened. I don't trust this area at all anymore, so my grandma had it blessed. Also, I don't feel safe in this place anymore at all. It's okay.
Everything seems calm on the surface, but the tension never really leaves. The father says he's constantly on edge, hoping the blessing worked and that whatever caused those movements is gone for good. But then, one evening, his daughter tells him she's seen someone in the room. Concerned, he goes in with her and stays close, just to reassure her. Then, this happens. After this encounter, his confidence completely collapsed. One blessing suddenly didn't feel like enough anymore. He began asking the same questions many parents in similar situations ask. Is this something that needs repeated blessings? Do these things come back? And is there a way to permanently protect a space once something has made itself known? Right now, he's doing everything he can to keep his daughter safe, but he's also searching for answers. If you've experienced something similar, or if you know of a solution that actually worked, this is the moment to share it. Because whatever is happening in that room clearly isn't finished yet. Now, in this next video, we're taken back into the home of a woman who says she's dealt with paranormal activity for years, to the point where it has seriously impacted her life. In the past, she shared that she suffered a concussion, experienced unexplained electrical shocks, and endured months of constant disturbances inside her house. Then, just as suddenly as it all began, everything stopped. For months, her home was completely calm. No noises, no movement, no strange sensations. And she didn't cleanse, bless, or remove anything during that time. The activity simply went quiet on its own. But recently, whatever was there seems to have returned. One afternoon, while she was in the kitchen fixing herself lunch, something happened. Watch closely. According to her, this isn't an isolated incident. She says objects have moved on their own before, including a knife that shifted unexpectedly and at night. Also, while trying to sleep, she has heard low growling sounds coming from inside the house. Viewers who follow her story closely began connecting dots almost immediately. Some believe the sudden pause and return of activity could point to something that goes dormant, then reactivates. Others suggest it may be tied to a specific object in her home, especially one item she's mentioned before, a doll she bought at a thrift store. Still, without definitive proof or new updates, everything remains speculation. So, until she shares more evidence or finds a clear explanation, this unsettling case remains completely unsolved. The following video was captured somewhere in Mexico, where a man named Dav noticed something deeply unsettling at his best friend's house, a property that is still under construction. For weeks, people living nearby had been complaining about strange things happening around the building. Some mentioned hearing loud noises late at night when no one was supposed to be there. A few neighbors even said they felt watched whenever they passed by the place after dark. One morning, Dav and his friend decided to go check the house for themselves, hoping to put the rumors to rest. Dav stayed outside, keeping watch near the entrance, while his girlfriend Gabriella insisted on going inside. She was excited to document the interior and show their friend how the construction was coming along. Watch closely.
Desde que llegué a la casa le dije a Gabriela que había alguien ahí. Chucho se fue a asomar, no. Y se ve bien puto raro, miren. Tiene la pinche jeta. Tiene los ojos brillosos. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Sí estás grabando? ¿Estás grabando? ¿Y no grabaste nada? Ahorita te enseño el video para que veas. Sobres. Cuidado. A ver, ahorita vemos el video de Gaby. Voy a grabar por si.
The figure Dav saw didn't look like a person who wandered in by mistake. It appeared oddly shaped, standing unnaturally still, and what terrified viewers the most were its glowing eyes. Many people familiar with paranormal folklore pointed out something chilling. Houses under construction are often believed to attract spirits because they're considered unfinished spaces, places without protection, history, or grounding yet. Some say these locations act like open doors, especially when the land itself has an unknown past. Others believe spirits are drawn to new structures because they disrupt old energies buried beneath the ground. So was this just an optical illusion inside an unfinished building? Or did Dav see something that had already been there long before the house was ever built? For now, no one has a clear answer, and this encounter remains deeply unsettling and unexplained. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his solo exploration through Bonanzaville, an open-air museum made up of fully preserved historic buildings from different eras of North Dakota. While moving through one of the rooms, Ian suddenly hears what sounds like a woman's voice clearly asking, "Who are you?" Startled, he steps inside to see if anyone else is there, or if whatever spoke was still nearby. Watch closely.
Where are you in this room? Are you on this bed? If you're on this bed, could you move the blankets? I overheard that brothel work used to take place here. Are you, no disrespect, but lady of the night? I heard that again.
Are you touching this bed? I keep hearing you. Wow. That was a heck of a string of activity. Jeez, that woman's voice was so clear on here. I still can't believe that. There's no doubt in my mind I was not alone in that room. And I'm not sure who that was. Man, I just feel like a cold breeze just passed me. Did somebody just go in front of me here? That's just like a wicked chill I got there.
Just seconds after Ian exits the room, something strange happens. A mist-like form begins to materialize from seemingly nothing, drifting through the space where the voice was heard moments earlier. When Ian reviews the footage, he can't shake the feeling that what he captured might have been the same presence, possibly the spirit of a woman rising from the bed and passing by him as a cold, unseen presence. Still processing what he's just experienced, Ian moves on to his next location inside Bonanzaville, the Houston Mansion. Built in 1891 on a bonanza farm, the mansion once belonged to David Houston, an inventor, farmer, and poet, and his wife Annie, a respected musician known across the state as the North Dakota songstress. Their life here was filled with creativity and acclaim, but it ended in tragedy. Employees and visitors alike are convinced that David and Annie never truly left. Reports of shadowy figures pacing the hallways, unexplained footsteps, and disembodied voices are common, especially on the second floor. Some claim David's spirit is particularly protective of the home, often frightening off visitors he doesn't approve of. His voice has even been heard muttering the words, "Get out." While inside the mansion, Ian decides to conduct a small test, a quiet attempt to see if either spirit is still present and willing to respond. Watch what happens next.
A pretty interesting tidbit about Annie and David is that they were actually spiritualists when they were alive. And it is said that Annie conducted seances on this very table. I've got a couple of dowsing rods here, and I'm going to see if I can communicate. Annie, are you here? Whoa. Did you see that? Dang. Annie, if that was you, could you separate them? Whoa. Right away. Thank you. I take it you're familiar with these? Yes. Wow. Annie, is it true that you were a spiritualist? Uncross the rods if that's true. Yes. Wow. I heard you were a musician as well. Is that true? Yes, I didn't even have to ask to cross them. Wow, Annie, I'm getting like serious goosebumps right now. Annie, is it true? Is this table your seance table? If it is, could you uncross the rods? Wow. Holy moly. Just to confirm, Annie, could you point these rods towards your seance table? There you have it. I'm gonna move these rods up forward again. Annie, is it okay that I'm here? Are you okay with me visiting? If so, cross the rods. You're not crossing them. Annie, do you want me to leave?
Goodbye now.
Whoa! Dude, I just freaking heard a whisper.
Could that have been Annie's voice finally answering, and asking Ian to leave? Or was it something else entirely? Something that doesn't want anyone wandering the halls of the Houston mansion after dark? Whatever the case, Ian didn't feel welcome anymore. And judging by what he captured that night, maybe he never was. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is about a lady named Savannah, who's now in serious need of help, because it's starting to look like she's living through a real-life paranormal phenomenon. For months, she's been dealing with things she can't explain. Footsteps pacing around her room late at night, objects disappearing and reappearing in different places, her closet door cracking open on its own, and the overwhelming sensation that someone is standing right beside her whenever she tries to fall asleep. But things escalated the night she swore she felt something sit on her chest while she slept. And what truly pushed her to her breaking point was when she heard something in the darkness, mimicking her voice, calling her cat. She screamed, thinking she was losing her mind. Then she eventually set up cameras. What you're about to see is a compilation from different nights, everything her camera captured. Watch.
What?
Some nights, small objects would shift and slide across the room as if nudged by invisible hands. Other nights, something would crawl underneath her blanket, pressing against her legs as she slept. There were moments where her cat would freeze, stare at the corner of the room, and suddenly jump as if something tried to pick it up. And on the worst nights, she'd wake up feeling a tight pressure around her foot, like something was slowly trying to pull her off the bed. She's already blessed her room, she's placed crosses around her apartment, she's tried cleansing, prayers, everything. But whatever is there doesn't seem to care. Now she's asking for help, because at this point, she's genuinely afraid of what might happen next. If you have any suggestions, now's the time to share. Who knows, your comment might be the solution she's been searching for. In this next clip, a paranormal investigator decided to explore an old crematorium, and after what he experienced there, he says he won't be going back anytime soon. Watch this.
This is crazy.
Crematoriums already have a chilling history. These are places where countless families said their final goodbyes. Places where bodies are prepared, tagged, and stored before the final process. And in older crematoriums, especially those that have been shut down for years, many say the air never really loses that heaviness, as if the walls themselves remember everything they've seen. Some former workers claim that late at night, before closure, they'd hear metal trays shifting on their own, or doors to the furnace room slamming despite no draft. Others swear that once a body is cremated, the spirit doesn't always follow immediately. Sometimes it lingers, confused, or attached to the place where its physical form spent its final moments. Strange noises in an abandoned building are one thing, but inside a crematorium, with that history, this is the kind of place you enter once, and then decide it's better not to return. Now, in this next video, a mother named Christy has been dealing with something that's starting to unsettle her in ways she can't explain. For days now, she's noticed a strange pattern. She'll be talking to her little boy, something simple, everyday conversations, and suddenly he'll stop mid-sentence, freeze, and stare off toward a very specific part of the house. No blinking, no reacting. Almost like he's watching something move that she can't see. At first, she brushed it off as childish distraction, saying kids zone out all the time. But it kept happening, and each time, his eyes went to the same direction. One evening, while she was prepping dinner, he did it again. Only this time, he wouldn't stop pointing toward the dining room, repeating the same thing over and over with a strange calmness that made her skin crawl. Watch this.
Where's the ghost?
Look at it.
What do you see?
I see something in a tiny room.
What is
I
it?
see something in a tiny room.
Where is it?
Perhaps. You're too rude.
I don't see it.
I'm opening it. It's perhaps. See, look. I'm opening it. You is one.
What?
You is one.
There's what?
You is.
What'd you see?
Next to my eye.
What?
That's my side on. To my side on the hat. To my side on the hat.
It's okay.
I see a vaccine pudding on a. I see a vaccine pudding in a hat.
You see what?
A vaccine pudding in a hat.
Imagine your own child saying something like that, with that kind of certainty. Christy finally took him to the dining room to figure out exactly where this thing was supposed to be. It turned out to be a picture hanging on the wall. But here's the part that's confusing her the most. That picture has been there for months. He's walked past it hundreds of times, eaten dinner right across from it, played near it. And it has never bothered him, so why now? Some people think kids are naturally more sensitive, and maybe he's suddenly picking up on something attached to the photo, an energy, a memory, or a presence that wasn't active before. Whatever the case is, something about that picture has clearly changed. And until she gets more answers, this one remains unsolved. The following video was captured outside an Argentinian hospital. A man had just finished visiting someone and was heading back to his car when he suddenly heard a loud bang. Thinking maybe someone needed help or that something had fallen, he walked toward the sound. But when he got there, the place was completely empty, so he headed back to his car. And that's when he noticed this. Watch.
Estamos en este momento en el microhospital, escuchamos un golpe y nos dimos vuelta porque dijimos, bueno, ¿quién está entrando? Cuestión de que no hay nadie atrás nuestro. Y miramos dentro del auto y dijimos, oh, pues el auto... ¿Qué mierda es? Lo peor de todo es que no queremos salir. O sea, no, un miedo, la puta madre. Lo peor de todo es que se mueve adentro del auto y no hay nadie. O sea, ahora vamos a ir a controlar el auto. Pero parece como si fuese un reflejo. La puta madre. No, huevo. Ya, salimos rápido para que vean que no es mentira. Mamá, la piel de gallina, hermano. Piel de gallina. Cagazo. Nadie. Nadie. Un montón. Es un montón. Mierda. Y encima nos mira la puta que te parió. No, chavo. No. Desapareció. La concha.
The moment he saw what was sitting in the back seat, you can tell his entire body reacted. When he lifted his arm to the camera, you could literally count each hair standing straight up. That's not something you fake, that's a full body fear response. But what really got people talking were the details, especially the movement of the face. Whatever was in that car wasn't a reflection, and it definitely wasn't a person hiding inside, because he didn't even take the camera off the car until he reached for the door. And when the head suddenly ducked behind the driver's seat, yeah, reflections don't do that. Now, here's where this gets even more unsettling. This didn't happen in just any location. It happened right outside a hospital, a place where people pass on, where emotions run heavy, where many believe spirits linger the longest before moving on. So the real question is, what exactly entered that car? And why did it wait until he was alone? This one remains a mystery. Now, in this next clip, a lady's dog has been acting out ever since she got a new truck. At first, she thought it was nothing. Maybe he just wasn't familiar with the sound or smell. But the more she paid attention, the more unsettling things became. Have a look.
What is it?
What is it? But there's nothing over here.
After watching this clip, some people said it could be the tires. Maybe the rubber was warm, maybe the scent was strange to him. But then a different wave of comments rolled in, questions that made the whole situation feel a lot darker. People started asking whether the truck was actually new, if she knew anything about the previous owners, or if the truck had ever been involved in an accident, because dogs don't usually whine like that unless they're reacting to something they don't understand, or something we can't see. She eventually came forward with an update that surprised everyone. The truck is brand new and she's already checked underneath, inside, and around the engine for any animals or signs of something stuck. Yet, Titus still behaves like this. She also revealed that ever since she brought the truck home, Titus has never agreed to get inside, not even once, and honestly, the comments weren't helping either. People began warning her that dogs can sense what humans can't, and that her dog might be reacting to a dangerous spirit attached to the vehicle. Some even went as far as saying that if she doesn't get it blessed, she could end up in an accident. One morning, Titus wanted to check the garage again, barking and whining in a way she'd never seen before, so she followed him, camera in hand, and here's what she caught. At this point, she has no idea what she's dealing with anymore. And honestly, none of the explanations so far feel comforting. So what do you think? Is Titus reacting to the smell of the tires? Is there a spirit attached to the truck? Or is there something else we're missing? Something that ties all these events together? Now, this next video captures something most people fear more than any regular haunting: a mimic. Mimics are the type of entities people describe as intelligent, calculating, and frighteningly good at imitating the voices of people you know and trust, usually to lure you closer or get you to respond. One afternoon, a lady was home completely alone when she suddenly heard this coming from inside her house. Watch.
Are you there, honey? Open the door for mommy. Bella. Come out. Bella.
The moment people heard that voice, the comment section exploded. Not because of the sound itself, but because of the way she reacted. She didn't panic, she didn't call out, she didn't ask who's there. She stayed absolutely silent. And for good reason. Because when it comes to mimics, the #1 rule everyone repeats is, do not respond. Responding means you're already playing its game. So the fact that she stayed completely quiet is what everyone agrees might have kept this from going much further. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration at Bonanzaville, an open-air museum made up of old, fully preserved historic buildings from different eras of North Dakota. In the last video we posted, Ian entered the Telephone Museum, but this time he went to the Brass Rail Saloon in the Page Hotel, said to be one of the most active buildings on the entire property. Built in 1889, this place used to be a bustling stop for travelers. Food, liquor, music, rooms upstairs, the whole deal. But today, it's known for something else entirely. Voices that shouldn't exist, footsteps pacing empty rooms, and unexplained noises that seem to follow anyone who dares explore the second floor alone. Watch this.
Could you do that again? If there's anyone in here, I invite you to come sit with me. I just want to get to know some of the people that are here. I hear that there's a lot of spirits in this building. Could you walk up to this table and sit down with me? I mean, I didn't bring any cards or anything, but I mean, if you've got some, I don't know if you can in the afterlife, but feel free to sit on this table here. Whoa. I just heard that chair move. Holy moly.
Unfortunately, he had his infrared light pointing directly at the camera, making the chair in front of him impossible to see. But the moment he stepped out of that room, something else happened.
Is there anybody in here?
Whoa. That came from in there.
I think I might have heard somebody in here. Is there anyone in here?
Whoa. Oh. Oh. Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna run. Did you just tap on that bed?
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. That scared the living daylights out of me. Holy moly. Dude, that was a freaking voice. I heard it so clear on this voice recorder. Oh, it was a female. It was a female voice.
Ian was almost convinced there had to be someone else inside the building with him, but the footage says it all. He was completely alone, so the question is, who or what answered Ian that night? And why is her voice still echoing through a building that hasn't hosted a living guest in over a century? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a man known for being blessed with sight, the rare ability to perceive things beyond the physical realm, visits yet another reportedly haunted house, one that's left its owners sleepless and terrified. They've complained about lights flickering violently in the middle of the night, furniture dragging across the floor on its own, children's laughter echoing through empty rooms, and the constant feeling of being watched from dark corners. Hoping to understand what's been tormenting them, he decided to visit. From the moment he arrived, he began sensing several energy shifts. Watch this.
Maybe some of these objects were haunted. What the f? Yo, this is moving and this is moving. Why isn't this one moving? I'm used to this shit already. You know what I mean? Like, if don't follow me home. Can you stop this? Stop it right now. Stop. It's going even faster now. Look at this shit. This one's perfectly. There's no wind. There's no wind at all. Look at the trees outside. I don't feel nothing negative though. But anyways, man.
According to him, the more fear a person shows, the stronger the activity becomes. He believes that spirits feed off fear, and that being terrified only invites them closer, almost like they draw energy from human emotion to manifest more clearly. This belief, he says, is what allows him to remain calm and confront the entities head on. But the next house he visited wasn't so quiet. The property's dark history involved a woman and her dog who tragically passed away inside. Ever since, the new residents have reported seeing a woman's shadow moving from room to room, often followed by the faint sound of paws on the hardwood floor. When he arrived at the house, this happened.
Cutting some stuff, but yeah, this is one of the houses. Shit, the hell was it? What the f? Yo, out with it. Yo, the door just shut on me. So she passed away?
That's why when I'm talking, I'm talking to her because she did that with the other door to me.
Because I've been getting the chills all, like, the whole time I've been here.
Yeah.
And I actually seen a dog, like an apparition of a dog right here. Like a little dog, like yours.
Oh, really?
Right here, yeah, and I was like, right here, right in this area. She had a dog too, huh?
She had a dog, yeah, but I don't know what kind. I think it was a small dog.
Yeah, because I see on jobs, some houses I see things, you know, like some houses they're like with spirits.
Yeah.
Whew, but that door just shut. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm used to it by this. I mean, I'm always working in houses that have stuff in them.
Well, I bet because all these homes are old.
They're old and they're by trees. They say trees hold a lot of spiritual stuff in water. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So that was the homeowner's family member, and she's also sensitive like me. She sees it too, and she talks. You know, I explained to her, the lady I seen her, she said, yeah, that's her aunt, so I'm not crazy. Anyways, I'm out of respect, I'm gonna stop recording, because that's her aunt and her living relative. God bless everybody.
For those blessed or cursed with sight, reality, and the unseen world overlap. So when he says he saw something, maybe he truly did. But, as always, I'll leave you to be the judge. Now in this next clip, a guy named Josh has been hearing strange noises around his home for several nights. Soft tapping on his walls, doors creaking open on their own, and the faint sound of breathing right behind him whenever he's alone. So this time, he decided to grab his camera and check it out. Watch this.
I keep hearing shit downstairs. Rustling stuff. So maybe we'll check it out. Shouldn't be anybody here by me.
There was somebody in our house. By the way.
Go away.
If you look closely, you'll notice it. A dark figure standing perfectly still. But what really sent chills down everyone's spine was the moment it rushed toward him, followed by the violent force on the door, as if whatever was out there was trying to break through. Some viewers think Josh might be dealing with a shadow entity, a type of spirit said to attach itself to people rather than places, feeding off fear until it gains enough energy to manifest physically. Others think it could be the spirit of someone who died in the home, trapped between worlds, trying to make itself known. But the scariest theory is that Josh may have invited something in unknowingly, and now it refuses to leave. The video sparked a huge debate online about whether or not he should sage the house, but one viewer who claimed to be a paranormal expert took things further. According to them, Josh would need a Reiki master for cord cutting, a shaman for a full blessing, and a physical medium for cleansing and removal. They added that the house should be smudged with sage from top to bottom, starting in the attic and working down to the basement, making sure to cover every reflective surface and window. Every doorway and windowsill should be lined with salt. Afterward, Josh would need to ground himself by standing barefoot in the grass for at least 15 minutes before re-entering the home. Finally, he should use holy water, drawing a cross on his forehead, another on each mirror, and sprinkling it over his bed and the most active parts of the property, and continue smudging daily until proper help arrives. So, what do you think? Would any of that really make a difference, or is Josh dealing with something beyond cleansing? In this next video, a ghost hunter named Jake decided to investigate a haunted museum, and what he caught on camera is downright terrifying. Watch this.
Haunted museum, guys. Here's Sully the dog. The goat. Look at that face, bro. Sully, speak! All right. This is where the Shadow Man was caught on camera, guys. This is a county museum. And we've heard all kinds of things in here. Footsteps, doors slamming. Oh my god. Creepy ass mannequins, dude. Hello? Okay. Guys, we've seen so many ghosts here. My dad actually captured a ghost on camera. We're gonna go into that room right now. We've seen the Shadow Man here. That's what he caught. You know what? I'll put the clip at the end of this video, so watch the end and you guys will see the clip of the Shadow Man. I swear I just saw movement in the mirror, dude. Did anybody else see that? Back here is where the Shadow Man was captured, guys. It was caught right here walking up these stairs. Anybody? What was that? Okay, screw this. Here's the footage of the Shadow Man, guys, and if you're still watching, hit that follow button and click on the live stream because I am probably live right now.
The movement, the strange noises, and the heavy stillness in the air made the whole place feel wrong. And for a moment, even Jake, who's been to dozens of haunted locations, admitted that something about this museum felt different. But maybe it shouldn't be so surprising. Museums are often said to be some of the most haunted places in the world. After all, they're filled with ancient artifacts, objects once owned or used by people long gone, some connected to death, war, or sacred rituals. Many paranormal investigators believe these items can hold residual energy, like emotional imprints of the past, replaying themselves over and over. Others think spirits can attach themselves to the objects that mattered most to them in life, especially if those items were stolen or disturbed. So was Jake picking up on one of those restless presences, or was it something else entirely? Until more people come forward with similar experiences from the same museum, this one remains an open, unsettling mystery. The following video was recorded by paranormal explorer Nikolai inside an old abandoned house rumored to be deeply haunted, but during his exploration, something completely unexpected caught him off guard. Have a look.
So this is creepy. We're here breaking down the haunted house for the season. Just casually was walking over here. Just noticed that there's something by the cone.
Do you want to play with me and all my friends? Come out wherever you are.
This was not in the corn maze. This was not in the house.
Why do you look so scared? Everyone in the graveyard just wants to be friends.
No idea where this came from, and it's powered up.
I love the cemetery, especially at midnight, when it's colder, when the other children are long asleep, and the dead awaken.
Yeah,
Do you want to play with me and all my friends? Come out wherever you are.
That's gonna stay there. That's, yeah. That's gonna stay there. I don't know where it came from. And yeah, this is the life of working at a haunted house.
The look on the doll's face, and even worse, the words it was saying, were beyond unsettling. The tone of its voice, the unnatural way it moved. It was like the doll wasn't just repeating something pre-recorded, but actually trying to communicate. Some viewers even said it seemed aware of Nikolai's presence, almost responding to him directly. The creepiest part? The doll didn't seem finished. It kept moving its head slightly, like it had more to say. Something Nikolai wasn't willing to stick around to hear. Shaken, he quickly left the house, saying he'd return another day to finish exploring. But after that encounter, he could only hope that when he does, that doll won't be waiting for him again. In this next video, a woman shares old footage from when she lived in a house she believes was haunted. Watch this. She says it started with whispers in the night. faint voices calling her name when everyone else was asleep. Then came the slow knocks on her bedroom wall, the kind that seemed to wait for her to answer. Some nights she'd wake to find her door wide open even though she'd locked it, or her TV suddenly turning on, blaring static into the dark. There were moments she'd spot shadows gliding across the hallway when she knew she was alone. And once, she found every cabinet door in her kitchen standing wide open, as if someone or something had been searching for something. Whatever was in that house didn't just want to be noticed, it wanted to be heard. So was she dealing with a mimic, a trapped spirit, or something far darker? You decide. In this next clip, Kyle, a guy who's become somewhat known online for sharing his ongoing paranormal experiences, hears strange noises coming from his attic one night. Curious, and maybe a little nervous, he decides to grab his camera and check it out. Watch this.
Y'all watch this and tell me what the hell it is. Is it cobwebs, a glitch, or a ghost? You tell me. I don't even really give a shit anymore. I don't care. I don't care if it's a ghost. I don't care if it's a cobweb ghost. Just keep your ass up there and shut the fuck. I haven't been posting lately because I've been trying to ignore this shit to see if it'll make it stop, but it ain't working. But in other news, I'm working on a new book. I think I'm gonna post about that. I think it's a pretty good idea. Takes place in a funeral home. I'll have some words about that soon.
After sharing the footage, many viewers who studied it closely believe Kyle might be dealing with two mischievous childlike spirits, entities that enjoy playing tricks, moving small objects, and causing harmless chaos, but never actually bring harm. Still, living with something annoying doesn't sound exactly comforting. Some, however, warned him to set boundaries immediately, saying that even playful spirits can turn restless or aggressive if ignored for too long, especially when they start feeling too at home. One comment even mentioned that child spirits aren't always what they seem, and that something darker might be disguising itself behind that innocent laughter. So, what do you think? Are these harmless pranksters, or something pretending to be? Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration through one of Nebraska's most haunted places, the Argo Hotel. This time, he made his way to the old bar area, a section of the building where countless visitors have reported seeing objects move on their own. As his camera rolled, a glass sitting perfectly still on the table suddenly slid forward, as if an invisible hand had just given it a gentle push. But while that was already unsettling enough, something else happened that took Ian a moment to even process.
This whole place is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Is there anything else that you'd like to do? Alright, well, I'm definitely gonna leave a still camera in here to record to see if anything else happens when I'm away.
He had actually left the camera running while exploring other parts of the building, so when he later reviewed the footage and saw what occurred in that empty room, his unease grew tenfold. There was no one else inside, no wind, no vibrations, just the quiet, eerie stillness of a haunted bar and that unexplained movement caught on camera. The Argo Hotel continues to prove why it's one of the most active sites in the Midwest. And if this is what happens when no one's around, it makes you wonder, what else happens when the cameras aren't rolling? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following video, a guy is making a quick video to show his sister's fiance just how creepy the crematorium where he works can get after hours. What starts as a casual walkthrough quickly turns into something far more disturbing. Watch this.
Lights, they turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna walk you through now. I have a friend that works that he would see and hear things coming from these furnaces when they're burning the bodies. So when I'm walking through here, they usually put the urns out to send to the families. So when I'm walking here at night, I walk right by these urns that they put on these tables here. And then I come down, freaking out. Crazy.
Now, crematoriums already carry a heavy atmosphere. The energy there is said to linger, trapped between the living and the dead. Some even believe places like this can absorb emotions, grief, pain, fear, and release them in strange ways. Others think the constant contact with the deceased could make it easier for spirits to attach themselves to the living, especially workers who spend long nights alone. Now, back to the guy in this video. He's convinced there's a ghost haunting this crematorium, and until someone gives him a better explanation for what he saw, he's not budging from that theory. So what do you think? Paranormal encounter, or something else? You decide. Now, this next video was captured at around 3:15 in the morning, and after what happened, there was no way the guy could go back to sleep. Watch this.
Estaba por entrar a mi casa, son 3:15 de la mañana, y la luz empieza a ser así, no sé. Sinceramente siento que hay alguien acá. No sé por qué lo presiento. Si te querés mostrar, mostrate ahora. Hay alguien sentado ahí. Hay alguien sentado. Mostrate.
Only people who've woken up to the sound of something unexplainable can truly relate to the kind of terror this brings. That feeling of being watched, of knowing you're not alone. And for this guy, it's not a one-time event. Strange things keep happening in his home, often at the same exact hour, like something's deliberately choosing that time to make itself known. But many who followed his story were relieved to find out it wasn't the Teddy this time. The same Teddy that's moved on its own in several of his earlier videos. But that only made people wonder, what if it was never the Teddy? What if whatever's in his home simply uses different objects to get his attention? Or worse, to toy with him? Some say he's dealing with a spirit that feeds off fear, while others think something darker might be attached to the house itself. Until he shares another update, what's really tormenting him remains a mystery. In the following clip, a woman named Jess shares a chilling story, one that's been haunting her for over a decade. Jess lost a close friend named Derek 13 years ago, and ever since then, he's never really left. No matter where she moves, strange things follow. Lights flickering, footsteps in empty rooms, objects shifting on their own. And in her new home, one she moved into just a few months ago, it seems Derek has somehow found her again. Watch this.
Mary, what? He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Mary, he's doing it again. Derek! Hey, Derek! I know you're dude. Derek! Derek! I'm talking to you, man. Stop f***ing me, dude. Calm down, Jessica. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. It's just Derek. It's just Derek. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek. What you doing, buddy? I miss you. Derek. What are you doing, buddy? You know I love you. You know I love you. Hey, Derek. Come on, you dumb... What the f...
Now, a lot of people believe Jess might be unknowingly holding on to something that once belonged to Derek, something personal that's keeping his spirit tethered to her. Others think Derek could be trying to communicate, perhaps trying to deliver a message she's missed for over 13 years, something that, once understood, might finally allow him to move on. But not everyone agrees. Some say she's making a dangerous mistake, that what she's experiencing isn't Derek at all, but something pretending to be him, using her grief to gain her trust. A few even suggested she check her attic, where energies tend to gather in old houses, and when she finally did, this is what she found.
Y'all wanted me to come up to the attic, okay? This is the wall that y'all saw some shit on. And these are the stairs. Like, my husband has all his clothes, of course. But if you look up there, there's no windows. I'm not going all the way up there because it scares the shit out of me. There's no windows. There's a sofa, some mirrors, a chair, his clothes, but there's no windows up here, okay? There's nothing up here that would have done anything. See? No window. No window. No windows. Nothing. Absolutely nothing up here. Other than like his toolboxes and a chair. I'm not going up here because it's too scary for me. But there are some mirrors, which is weird for an attic. A fan. See, there's no windows. This is my attic. There's nothing up here that could have done that shit. Alright, I'm getting the out of here because it feels weird.
So, is Jess truly being visited by the spirit of her old friend? Or something else wearing his face to keep her believing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at footage captured inside a daycare in East Tennessee, one that used to be an old church before it was converted. Watch this.
The video I'm about to show you is very disturbing. I'm just going to let it play for you, and then I'll give you the background.
See? Lights go off. Now watch. You're going to see.
What you just saw was security footage that was sent to me by a woman who worked at a daycare in East Tennessee, Appalachia region. This daycare is actually a very old church that was turned into like a private daycare school. She said that events leading up to this, she was kind of having some weird experiences where she would be in her office after hours and would hear like people walking down the stairs, and then she would go check the stairwell and nobody would be there, or she would hear noises coming from classrooms and open up the door and see nothing. She said she would be the only one on the property at this time because she was in charge of like opening the daycare center, and then she would often stay after hours. So nobody was in the building when she was hearing these noises. On this particular day, she was opening the daycare. She went in that door that you saw at the end of the hall and noticed there was an iPad laying on the ground. This was really odd to her because these iPads are put into this like cabinet area that are hooked on like chargers. And she said they're very secure and they're like sitting up on charging decks, if that makes sense. She thought maybe an intruder came in or something, so she immediately notified the security officer who came and checked the camera footage. And that is the camera footage that you saw. Literally, the way that iPad just flings out of that cabinet is giving me chills right now. In the beginning, I feel like I also saw some kind of an orb object, but I've watched this video so many times and I feel like it's just unexplainable. Tell me what you saw in the video, if you saw the orbs like I did, or if you noticed anything else that's odd, and leave in the comments if you have any weird experiences like this.
The way that iPad flew across the room is hard to wrap your head around. Now here's a bit of context. The woman who shared this video works at the daycare and said there had been a series of strange occurrences long before this day. She'd often stay late in her office and hear what sounded like footsteps coming down the old wooden stairs. only to find no one there. Other times, faint noises would come from the classrooms after hours, toys rattling, drawers opening, whispers she couldn't quite make out. On the morning this footage was recorded, she arrived early and found one of the iPads lying on the floor. Now, she's the one who usually opens the daycare, so at that time, the building should have been completely empty, the iPads locked away in a cabinet as usual. Thinking it might have been a break-in, she called security. Omen people believe it's residual energy from when the building was still a church, that maybe the spirits of those who once gathered there never really left. Others think the conversion of the sacred space might have disturbed something that didn't want to be moved, but what do you think really happened inside that old daycare? In this next clip, a woman was walking down a quiet street late at night when her camera picked up something she couldn't explain. Watch.
Or the sub for you is going to be more. Everything's going up, but our wages aren't going up. Because I'm still seeing wages that are fucking pitiful on Indeed. Oh yay, I can make the same amount of money I made when I was out of high school, you know? Looks like there was a figure just standing right there. That's so crazy. I think it was my own shadow. That happens way too often.
At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a shadow, but take a closer look. The outline, the faint movement, and those glowing eyes staring straight at her. Some viewers think she may have caught a shadow figure, a manifestation often linked to dark energy or spiritual unrest. Others believe it's something far more physical, a creature that thrives in the dark, staying just beyond our understanding. There could be many other explanations for what she saw, like a trick of the light, an animal, or maybe something else entirely. But the idea that it could be something aware of her presence is what makes this clip so unsettling. Because if figures like this can move freely among us, unnoticed and unbothered, it makes you wonder what else is out there when the streets go quiet. So, what do you think she captured that night? And do you believe that some things walk among us, some seen and others we were never meant to see? Now, in this next clip, a woman named Keys has been dealing with strange activity in her home, the kind that keeps her up at night. But this time, she finally managed to catch something on camera. Watch this.
What is happening right now? First the door was moving, then I heard like talking, and then I keep seeing shadows. And for anyone telling me that I should go out there, yeah, why don't you go out there, please? Oh, it just opened and shut right in front of me. Oh man, I wish I could. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm freaking out. And before anyone comes at me, it's freaking the middle of October in Pennsylvania. It's freezing out, so I have no windows open. I have one fan that circulates throughout the whole room, and that door has never done that. Like, it's moved on its own, but never just like slammed shut like that. I can't believe I just caught that on camera. What the actual believe I just caught that. And of course I'm alone. Yay me. Fun times.
Whatever that was, it's not the first time she's seen it. Keys says things like this have been happening for months. Objects moving on their own, lights flickering even when the power's stable, and that unsettling feeling that someone's standing right behind her when no one is there. She's tried everything from cleansing rituals to changing rooms, but nothing seems to stop it. And now, after this footage, she's starting to wonder if whatever's haunting her house might be getting stronger. If you've ever experienced something similar, drop your thoughts below. What did you do to make it stop? Because at this point, Keys is running out of ideas and courage. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian visits one of Nebraska's most haunted locations, the Argo Hotel. This place has a long and unsettling history. Years ago, when it was still a sanatorium, a woman named Alice reportedly died during childbirth in the basement. Since then, people say her spirit never left. They hear her crying softly in the hallways at night, sometimes calling for her baby. But here's the disturbing part. During renovations, workers found skeletal remains of an infant sealed inside one of the walls. Many believe it was Alice's child, and she's not the only one said to haunt this place. Guests staying in room 1 often complain about their blankets being tugged off in the middle of the night, or waking up to the sound of faint breathing right beside them. On November 28, 2024, Ian decided to spend the night alone inside the Argo Hotel, hoping to capture proof of what's really happening here. Watch.
That sounded like a lady's voice, right there. I swear to God, I just heard that right behind me. Alice, is that you? She's that ghostly woman that they see wandering around. Could you say something again? I don't know if I'm just losing it, but I swear to God I heard that. I'm not hearing anything else. It's dead quiet. Alice, was that you I just heard? Whoa, whoa. There's something standing right over there. It was right behind that couch. There was something literally standing in that photo. It was like a mist or something. But I'm not seeing it anymore. It's completely gone.
So was that Alice still wandering these halls, or something else entirely? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip was recorded inside Kyle's house, a place we've featured several times on this channel. For the past few weeks, things have been unusually quiet, but as many people familiar with paranormal cases will tell you, long quiet periods don't always mean the activity is gone. Sometimes they mean something is building up. One morning, Kyle woke up to the sound of voices coming from somewhere inside his house. Watch closely. At first, he did what most people would do. He searched the house room by room, trying to find a logical source. No TV was on, no phone, no neighbors, nothing that could explain what he was hearing. But when he reached the basement door, things became even more unsettling. Viewers who analyzed the clip claim they heard a young girl's voice whispering, "He's coming." But Kyle doesn't have any children and no kids were anywhere near the house at the time. Several people urged Kyle not to respond verbally, especially not in the moment, a common warning when unexplained voices are heard, as acknowledging them is believed by some to strengthen the activity. For now, Kyle hasn't been able to explain what he heard that morning, just a voice that shouldn't have been there, and a house that, after weeks of silence, suddenly felt very. In this next video, a security guard shares more updates from his workplace, a place where strange figures have been showing up far too often to ignore. In earlier clips, he documented unexplained figures passing, and he thought it was going to be a one-off activity, but it happened again. One night during his shift, he noticed a white figure moving through the building once again. Instead of brushing it off, he decided to stand up and follow it, hoping to finally get a clearer look. Watch closely.
The storm is so bad that Ghost had to go upstairs. Look at the bottom right. Look. There you go. Look at that. It was cold. I'm like, oh shit. I wanted to follow it and feel. See, I'm trying to feel, like, follow the cold breeze. I saw it going towards the elevator. So I went there. It was actually a cold breeze towards the elevator, then it just stopped. So I'm like, damn. Shit. So I walked back, thinking the motherfucker was gone. I guess it didn't want me to follow it. So I'm like, okay. Then something touched me. I'm like, what the? Something touched me. I'm still trying to see, like, where is it at? Like, it vanished, so how is it still touching me or something? I don't know. It's creepy. So I'm like, okay. Well, at least I saw it and followed it for a little moment. Then it went to vanish. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, go ahead and take your ass upstairs and get warm.
Aside from briefly touching him, there haven't been any violent attacks, scratches, or aggressive behavior. This led many to believe this could be a non-hostile or friendly spirit, possibly unaware of its surroundings or simply repeating a routine it once had in life. But it happened again. On another night shift, the guard spotted the same faint white figure again, only this time it came through the door. And as the figure moved closer, he described feeling a sudden cold breeze, even though the building's temperature hadn't changed. Have a look.
I saw that motherfucker again. Just look real close. Just look. It's coming from the door, from outside. See it? It's faint. It's real faint. I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold on, let me feel if it's real. It's cold too when I put my hand up there by it. It's real cold. Then it went back there towards the door, all the way back there in the back. I'm like, whoa. I wanted to see it went close to me or some shit. I'm like, oh, so ghosts, because ghosts do give out like a cold chill, like when you put, like, it's like a cold breeze there. I'm like, okay. Shit, I saw it came from outside too. I'm like, damn. And I wasn't even freaked out. I just wanted to see how it felt. I was like, that motherfucker cold in the mud. So I saw it. That shit is crazy, man. It's been a while since I've seen this, so like I said, it come every now and then, but you have to look real hard though, real hard to see it. It came from here and it went real slow. Just look real hard when you rewind the video.
In paranormal belief, sudden cold spots are often associated with spirits because it's said they draw energy from their surroundings to manifest or move. Many claim that when a temperature drops without explanation, it can signal a spirit passing through or attempting to interact. Despite multiple encounters, the figure has never spoken, it hasn't shown its face, and it hasn't revealed why it keeps appearing in the same workplace night after night. Until more updates are shared, this case remains unsolved. Now, this next video is about David, the man who bought a doll and almost immediately realized he'd made a serious mistake. At first, David believed the activity was tied directly to the doll, so he did what many advised. He locked it inside a cage and placed a Bible on top, hoping that would contain whatever presence was attached to it. But the activity in his house didn't stop. In fact, many viewers believe that while the doll may have acted as a trigger, whatever came with it may have already spread throughout the house long before it was locked away. One night, around 4 a.m., David woke up to get some work done, but as he finished and was about to head to bed, he began hearing something that immediately put him on edge. Listen closely.
Están escuchando, ¿no? Son pasos, esos son pasos. Y los estoy escuchando, ya van 2 veces que los escucho. Entonces la segunda vez dije, ok, termino de hacer la cama y empiezo a grabar. Ok, ya escucharon, ¿no? Bueno. Entonces, ¿por qué tengo la luz así? Porque me duermo con la luz de rojo, y ya está. Y para los que digan, esas cruces que no sé qué, son adornos, nada más. Entonces, ya encendí la luz del celular, ¿ok? Porque ahorita todo está apagado. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Ahí se escucha.
It sounded unmistakably like footsteps, and David was completely alone. In the same video, David addresses something many commenters had been focusing on: the red lighting in his room and the crosses on the wall. He explains that the red light helps him sleep, and the crosses are simply decorative ornaments, not ritualistic, not symbolic. But viewers aren't convinced. Many argued that red lighting is often associated with heightened emotional states or altered perception, while others insisted that symbolic objects, even when decorative, can still act as spiritual triggers, especially in an already active environment. Trying to locate the source of the noise, David followed the sound, and it didn't surprise anyone when the footsteps led him straight to the room where the doll was locked. But what shocked viewers most wasn't the room. It was what appeared just before he reached it: a face, barely visible, peeking out from the darkness, watching him. That single moment escalated everything, because now there were 3 separate concerns: the doll locked in the cage, the red light, and the cross ornaments, and now a visible presence that wasn't hiding anymore. David shared that this wasn't the first time he heard footsteps. One night while he was home alone, he heard footsteps so convincing that he genuinely believed someone had broken into his house. Have a look.
Se escuchó que alguien venía así, hacia mí. Y fue cuando cerré la puerta.
After that incident, viewers advised him to prepare for the next time it happened, specifically by using talcum powder, a method some believe can reveal unseen movement through footprints. So when it happened again, David knew exactly what to do. Watch this carefully.
Talco para pies. No me importa usarlo todo. Bueno, amigas, bueno, amigos, así quedó. Ya está. No fue mucho lo que quedaba. Ya se vació esto. Voy a dejarlo así, qué sé yo, toda la tarde y toda la noche de mañana, a ver qué pasa. Es decir, en 24 horas reviso. Ya está. Antes de voy a encender la luz de esto. Todo eso está el talco, ¿ok? Sí se ve bien creepy, ¿no? Ah, cosa curiosa. El rosario de la Biblia ya no... A ver, así. Ya no encuentro el rosario de la Biblia. Y si se dan cuenta, la muñeca se volvió a mover.
As he pours the powder, something else happens. A voice can be heard. And for those familiar with David's story, this voice is disturbingly familiar. From the very beginning, David has described hearing a voice that sounds distressed, sometimes crying, sometimes calling his name, sometimes sounding like it's asking for forgiveness, as if whatever is there isn't just present, but suffering. Then, David noticed something else. The doll had changed position inside the cage, and the rosary he'd placed on top of the Bible was gone. At this point, even viewers couldn't agree on what was truly responsible. Some still blame the doll, others insist the house itself may already be haunted. A few believe it's the environment, the lighting, the symbols, the attention, feeding whatever is there. And then there's the face, because once something is watching you, it's no longer contained. So what do you think is causing all of this? The doll, the red light, the crosses, or the house itself? You be the judge. In the following video, a woman shares footage after more than 2 weeks of unsettling experiences, incidents that have slowly pushed her toward one frightening conclusion, that something may have attached itself to her. Watch this carefully.
I'm recording this to see if I can catch it on camera this time, but I'm home alone for the night and I swear I've been hearing noises. Usually this happens, but this time it happened so. Please tell me that you can hear it.
To a lot of people, this might not be a classic attachment case. Attachments usually don't begin loudly, they start subtly. A constant feeling of being watched, sudden emotional shifts that don't feel like your own, exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest, recurring intrusive thoughts, vivid dreams involving the same presence, or a heavy sensation in the chest or shoulders, as if something is always nearby. So this might be something else, a mimic. Mimic cases often present differently. Instead of targeting emotions or energy first, mimics focus on imitation. They copy familiar voices, repeat phrases the person has heard before, and create situations designed to provoke a response. And that's where the most important rule comes in. The number one rule when dealing with a mimic is this: do not respond and do not acknowledge it in any way. No speaking back, no calling out, no asking questions, no reacting emotionally. Sometimes, while attachments tend to drain and linger quietly, mimics provoke, and once they're acknowledged, they rarely stop. Until more updates are shared, the situation remains deeply unsettling. Now, in this next video, a man is simply giving his friends and family a tour of his new apartment. Nothing unusual, just a quick walkthrough to show the space. But he captured something terrifying. Take a look. It wasn't until one of his friends decided to slow the video down and examine each room more carefully that something disturbing stood out. As he walks past one of the rooms, there appears to be a woman standing still, facing the window. She doesn't move and she didn't turn. The man insists he was completely alone while filming. No roommate, no visitor. Viewers quickly began analyzing the footage frame by frame. Some believe it could be a reflection or a trick of lighting, but others pointed out that the figure appears to have depth and form, standing in a spot where no mirror or reflective surface should be. The posture is also unsettlingly natural, like someone quietly observing the outside world. So, what do you do when your new apartment already has someone living rent-free in it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. This next video was captured by Nate, a man whose dog has been trying to warn him that something isn't right inside the house. One night, while Nate was home alone watching TV, this happened. Watch closely.
So I'm here watching football, and this light keeps going on and off. I was just up there going to the bathroom. Like, I checked the bulb, and the switch is right there. It just started doing this.
If it's just the lights turning on and off, some might say he's overreacting. Electrical issues happen, but when you factor in everything else that's already happened in this house, the situation becomes much harder to dismiss. We've heard whispers underneath several of Nate's past videos, faint, low, and not coming from the TV. There's also the clip where a knife was thrown across the room, even though no one was standing near it. And then there's his dog, who refuses to go into certain corners of the house, freezing in place, growling, or leaving the room altogether. And when multiple signs start stacking up, sound, movement, objects being thrown, and an animal clearly reacting, it begins to feel like something is escalating. For now, Nate hasn't been able to explain what's going on inside his home. So until more answers or updates surface, this one remains completely unsolved. Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian returns to what many locals consider the most haunted house in Minnesota, the infamous Boyd House. The home belonged to the Ehart family, Fred and Minnie, and was originally built back in 1901. As Ian entered one of the rooms, something immediately caught his attention. A light suddenly turned on by itself. At that moment, Ian knew he needed answers. Was this Fred, Minnie, or something else entirely? So he began asking questions.
Minnie, was that you that I heard earlier? Making all those noises? Turning on that closet light? Was that you? I feel it moving again. Thank you. I think they uncrossed. I hope you don't mind me visiting. It is a lovely place. You know, I keep coming back for a reason, right? What the heck was that? That sounded like a female voice, almost. It was like really faint. Minnie, is that you? There it is again. Okay. That is really really spooky sounding. It sounds like a woman, like humming. Like,
Was that Minnie, the former owner many believe still wanders the house, known for moving objects and interacting with the environment? Or has something else found its way into the Boyd house, drawn in by years of attention and investigations? The following clip is about a couple, Jeff and Lauren Lowe, animal lovers and parents to their young daughter, Sarah. For a while now, this family has been dealing with a series of disturbing and unexplained events inside their home. Their cats have been caught hissing at empty corners. There's often the unmistakable feeling that someone else is in the room when no one is there. And even more unsettling, their daughter has complained about hearing someone whisper her name when she's alone. They've also reported tapping sounds when no one else is home, along with sudden, violent rattling of doors that seems to come out of nowhere. These incidents have become frequent enough that the family no longer sees them as isolated events. One day, after returning home, something immediately caught Lauren's attention. Watch.
Oh my gosh, no way. Stop the car. Hold on, stop. Check this out. Guys, we just got home. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look. It's seriously doing it again. We just got home. And you guys are right. There are no other bushes beneath any of the other ones. And I did fix the chain. And it's still doing this. So I have no idea if it has anything to do with the bush. I don't know about you guys, but I am not touching it. I'm not disturbing it. If it is a spirit playing with it. I mean, look at it. And none of the other ones are going, so. It's really strange how it's the only one going. And yeah, it is the only one with a bush under it, so. It's interesting.
Could whatever they've been experiencing be connected to that bush? Some viewers believe the bush can act as a conduit, a place where energy gathers or something unseen anchors itself. Others suggest animals or even spirits may use it as cover, moving through it without being seen. A few have gone as far as to say the bush may need to be removed entirely, claiming it could be masking whatever is trying to interact with the house. But until Lauren decides to clear the bush, this strange activity remains unsolved. This next clip comes from a woman you might recognize from previous videos, the same one who bought a Chevy truck that her dog Titus refused to go near. At the time, people brushed it off as a strange quirk. Titus would grunt, sniff the air, and completely refuse to enter the vehicle, no matter how much encouragement he got. Now, he's acting strange again, but this time it's not the truck. It's something inside the house. Watch.
God, this is
What? What's wrong?
anything?
Thomas, what is that?
Titus is visibly uneasy in the living room, focusing on one specific area as if something invisible has his attention. Some viewers suggested installing a carbon monoxide detector, thinking the dog might be sensing something coming from the fireplace. Others blamed mice. But according to the woman, whenever there's a mouse in the house, the cat immediately goes into hunting mode. This time, the cat wasn't acting like prey was nearby. Friends have advised her to contact a pet psychic, and she says that's her next step. Until then, she's continued documenting Titus's behavior, trying to catch a pattern. But things got more disturbing when the cat too started acting strange. Watch this.
You want to hear? James. Why do you want to hear it? Ready? Hey. Jangles. Okay, here we go. Okay, go on. Hi.
After repeatedly trying to head into the garage, the cat suddenly freezes, backing away as if something is blocking the entrance. And when Titus joined them and started acting in his usual strange manner, she became convinced that something's in the garage. Garages are often described as transitional spaces, places between inside and outside. And in paranormal cases, they're frequently linked to unexplained noises, shadow movement, and animal reactions. Some believe they act as entry points, while others say residual energy can linger there unnoticed. So is there really something in her garage that only her pets can sense? Or is there an explanation everyone is missing? You decide.